If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay students, welcome to this new lecture. Now as we have already discussed about some basics of permutation combinations, and we have all prerequisites so that we can start our binomial theorem basic discussions. So today let's start binomial discussion, the basic portion. Okay, what is binomial theorem? Binomial means by, the name is binomial. Bi means two. That's why it is mono means 1, tri means 3, bi means 2, nomial means number of terms. That means if you see here x plus y, there are two terms, x and y. So this is your nomial. How many nomial? Two nomial, bi. That's why it is known as binomial theorem. Now you have already seen some of the binomial basics binomial theorem you have already done in 9-10. You don't know that you have done it. So let me show you. Suppose a plus b whole square. This one you know from your basic algebra. What was a plus b whole square? A square plus 2ab plus b square. So this is the simplest binomial we have. Two terms because it is binomial. And this is the expansion. You have already multiplied it, you have got it. You have got it. Now if you have a plus b whole cube, then what is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Now someone thought of what will be a plus b to the power 7. Do you ever thought of how it will find it? We can multiply it 7 times and we can get it. But without multiplication also, there is a general formula through which you can calculate not only to the power 7, you can calculate any power you want to need. 10c to the power a plus b to the power 100, a plus b to the power 200, whatever value it is given, you can directly write it down. Isn't it interesting? So it becomes very good, nice way that you can expand it without multiplying it using just basic binomial theorem. So this is all about binomial theorem. So here you can see this is the theorem. They say a plus b to the power n. Here it is written in x plus y. So this is the theorem. NC0 it will start. Then the full power. You can see here also it is something similar to this one. If you see some property here from a plus b whole cube, a plus b whole square also, a start taking full power, a cube, then a's power reduces, a square, then a is 0 here. And b is here, first b to the power 1, then b square, then b cube. So you can see there is a symmetry of this fashion. And this coefficient is 1, this coefficient is 1. Last two coefficients are equal. You see these two. And a second from last and second from first, these two are also equal. Here also the first from the beginning, first from the last, these two are equal. Second one it is alone, that's why it is the biggest one also, you can say biggest coefficient. And okay, so here the same thing is happening here. If you see here x to the power n, the full power starts from x, then x get reduces, ultimately you will get x0, and y0, and then y power increases. Okay, then the first term is nc0. nc0 will be 1, anything c0, suppose 2c0 you say. 2c0 means there are two students, you have to select 0 student. In how many ways you can do it? Only one way, you leave that class. You don't select anyone, you just come out of that class. That is the only way. You show them their back and they come out. That is only one way. NC1 we will calculate 10C1, 5C1. In how many, what is the meaning of 5C1? Out of 5 you have to select 1. So how many ways you can select? 5. So you can see here also 2C1, that's why it is 2. 3C1 it is 3. So you will get some idea from your basic a plus b whole square and a plus b whole cube, sum of these binomials. So this is the theorem. N power will get increases, and these are known as binomial coefs or binomial coefficient. NC0, NC01. Sometime it will be written only C0, C1, C2. N remains hidden because you know that will be n will be in upside. So NC1, then it is remaining. So this formula you can remember it, very easy formula. NC0, n will keep on increasing, x will keep on decreasing, and y will keep on increasing. So one expression I have written this a plus b whole cube only using this binomial theorem, what you have learned till now. That is 3c0 x cube. So 3c0 is 1. You have to select 0 out of 3. That is only one way. Just leave at that class. 3c1 out of 3 you have to select 1, 3. 3c2 you can use this property. Selecting 2 out of 3 is nothing but selecting 1 out of 3. That property 10c8 equal to 10c2. 10c8 equal to 10c2, you can use this one. So 3c2 will be equal to 3c1, which is 3. Or you can do it in this way. 3c2 will be, you have to write two numbers, divide by 2 factorial. So you will get 3. You will see how to. 3c3 is 1. Out of 3 you have to select all 3. That is only 1. You take the entire class and then come out. So that is only 1. So you can see this is your whole theorem. Next here if it is a minus, then instead of y you will put a minus. So wherever y odd power is, where is odd power of y? 1, y to the power 1, y to the power cube. That odd power will give you a minus, because here y is negative. You can think of it as x plus minus y to the power 4. So y is here negative. So whenever y is there, odd term, y to the power 1, you will find negative. So you will find negative one alternate way. First positive, then negative, then positive, then negative. It will continue. So first x full power, NC0 is 1, that's why I am not writing. 4C1 is 4, out of 4 you have to select 1. 4C2 we can do. 4C2, what will be the 4C2? 4 into, you have seen already, we have done here. 4C2, it is 2 into 1, that is 6. So that's why 4C2. After doing something, you can do it in your mind also, little 4C2, 4C3. This is 4C3 is nothing but again 4C1, 4. So you can see the first and last are same, second from first, second from last are same. This is the middle one. So in general, there is some tuning is there, some rhythm is there in this expansion, and that rhythm has been catched in general term. That's why it is known as general term. That means without expanding it, one thing is that you can expand it and you can write every terms. Suppose I don't need all the 4 terms. I need suppose third term only. I need suppose 4th term only. I don't need all 5 terms here. Suppose I need 4th term. I need 3rd term. So no need to write expansion all this, because there is a symmetry. We can directly write that term. So that is known as general term. Suppose I need r plus 1th term. Why it is given r plus 1, you will know little. Suppose this is first term. You can see in the first term what is NC? It is 0. In the second term what is NC? It is 1. Third term 2. Fourth term 3. 5th term 4. So every term, if you want to find the third term, then your NC is 1 less than that. So if you want to find r plus 1, so NC will be 1 less than that. So r plus 1, if you 1 less, it is r. So that's why they have written r plus 1. If you want to write TR, then it will be NC r minus 1. So remembering this one may become little complicated. To make it easy, that's why they have written r plus 1. So NCR, and what is here? You can see your n minus 1 is here, n minus 2 is here, because it is reducing. Here it is full n. Here it was n minus 1, n minus 2. In the third term it is n minus 2. So in the fourth term it will be n minus 3. So in the r plus 1 it will be n minus r. So these two difference between these two. And y, 2 is directly coming y. You can see 1 is directly coming in the head of y. N is coming, so you get directly. R will directly come. So this is the formula. And if it is a minus term there, if it is a plus, then it is okay, direct all plus. If it is a minus, then you don't know which one will be plus, but you know the alternative there will be plus minus. The odd term, the first term is 1, the second term will be negative, and the third term will be positive. So TR plus 1, you can think it in this way. So here R starts from 0. R is from 0. R, both the case R will be 0, because R cannot be. If it is R0, then you will get first term. So whenever there is a confusion and plus minus, so you always put this minus 1 to the power R. So if R becomes even, then it becomes positive. If R becomes odd, then it becomes negative. So you can also easily find, if it is a first term, then R would be equal to 0, then it will be positive. First term is positive. If you need second term, then you will put R equal to 1, then it is negative, to the power is negative. If you are come to third term, then you put R equal to 2, so it will be T3, T 2 plus 1 T, that is T3 represent third term. So then automatically it will become positive, because R is here 2. So some observations already we have seen from A plus B whole cube. What are the observations? The nice observations is number of terms in the expansion. In the total expansion, if you go for the expansion, you will find the number of terms is 1 more than your indices. Suppose it is cube, so how many values you are getting? 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it is 4, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if there are n indices is n, this is known as indices, then you will get n plus 1 term, that is 1 more than your index. The sum of the index of x and y in each term is n. So if you add these two, power of x and y, 3 plus 1, 4, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 1, 4, you will always get sum is equal to 4. Here also you can see, the total x is 0, so y is 4, the total is always n. The binomial coefs, these are known as binomial coefs, 3c0, 3c1, 3c2, 3c3. They are always equidistant from the beginning and the end, they are always equal. We have already seen, because using that property, because 10c8 equal to 10c2. So if you come to second term from the first, it is 2. If you come from the back side, then second term is the 8. Both are equal. We have seen this is the property of C. Here also you have seen these 1 1 are equal, 1 1 are equal, then 4 4 are equal, then this 6. So binomial coefficients that are equidistant from the beginning and ending will be equal. Why this? Because of this beautiful property of NCR. R from the beginning and R from the ending. If it is 2 from the starting, then from the end it will be n minus 2. So at the basic level we have one more thing, that is middle term. How to get the middle term? So if I want to see the middle term, so if I want to see middle term, then one thing you can think of, that is, you have already seen there is one extra. One extra means if you have n, then you have n plus 1 terms. If your index is n, then you have n plus 1 term. So if I say total number of term is n plus 1, and if I say n is even, then the term is n plus 1 total term, which will be odd, because even if you add 1, then it will be odd. Now if you have odd numbers, suppose you have 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, then which one will be the middle? Obviously this one will be the middle. Now suppose you have 5 numbers, which one will be the middle? Obviously this one. This is by seeing only you can do it. Now if I want to write it in formula, can you formulate it? Can you do some modeling so that you can directly give the answer? You can see what you are doing. 3, total number was 3. So what we are adding, 3 plus 1 divided by 2 we are doing. Because 2 is the answer we know. So how to get 2? So you add 1, then you divide by 2. You will get 2. Here also you add 1, it is 5. So 5 plus 1 by 2. So this is the way you can get, this is the one simplest model to get the middle term in case of a odd. You have odd numbers. Now how many numbers you have? You have n plus 1 number. This is odd. So how to get middle one? You will add 1, then divide by 2. So it will be n plus 2 by 1. So if you divide it will be n by 2 plus 1. So this is the term. This is the middle term. If you can remember this logic, then no need to remember this formula also. You can anytime you can derive from your own, and anywhere you can apply this one. So you should remember from where this concept is coming. So what is the middle term? So middle term is n by 2 plus 1th term. So if they want to find me the middle term, we will calculate this term and we will give the answer. And we can directly calculate this term by using general formula. Now if n is equal to odd, now the situation differs a little bit, then your n plus 1 will be even. Now let us take this case. Suppose n is your even, n is your odd, n is 2, then total number of term is 3. Sorry, n is odd, so n is 3, then total number of term is 4. So you have 4 terms. Now which one is middle? Now there is 2 things in the middle. So in that case there will be 2 middle terms, this and this one. And how to find this one? You can say this is second and third by seeing only. Now you have 6 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now which one will be the answer? You will say obviously sir these 2, third and fourth. Now how you are getting? You can think, you divide 4 by directly 2, you divide 6 by 2. So the number of terms you divide by 2, 4 by 2, and then 4 by 2 plus 1. Once you know 1, then you add, you will find the next one. It is 6 by 2, that is third, and then 6 by 2 plus 1, fourth. So here total number of term is n plus 1. So what you will do, 1 will directly you will divide n plus 1 by 2, and 1 you will, once you know 1, then you add 1, then you will get this term. Because here number of term is not n. Number of term is n plus 1. That means 4 is n plus 1 here. If you are getting total number of terms, then you divide it to get the middle. So you can understand from here itself. So it will be, if n is odd, then your total number of term becomes your even term, and you have, then in that case you have 2 middle term, not a single one. One will be direct divided by 2 and another will be divided by 2 plus 1. So these 2 will be your middle term. So you can calculate using the general formula. So this is all about your basic theorem. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.